you know, he made $100 million, you know, and he's his own boss. He can say and do what he wants to do, having a great team.
Yeah.
Because no one person can do it by himself. That was the core of the team.
Gotcha.
You know, and it was a tremendous sacrifice, you know, especially for me. I worked like 15 years straight, 7 days a week, 20 hours a day.
Wow.
You know, that whole middle part of my life,
Yeah.
it didn't exist. It didn't exist.
And now you have this egg on your face and things are falling apart. And now people are wondering, did you get screwed or was it your own financial ignorance and now you're bitter?
People taking shots at a great fighter, Mayweather. Probably the same people that were, applauding him and saying how great he was at one point, and now they're taking shots at him like they're almost, like they get pleasure out of seeing a great fall, potentially.
You're right,
fall.
but when you call yourself the money man, you do it to yourself a little bit too.
No, I can't argue with that.
Leonard Ellerbe recently shared his perspective on Floyd Mayweather Jr., claiming that the boxing legend has burned through his reported $1.1 billion fortune and is now facing financial difficulties. According to Ellerbe, this outcome wasn't surprising. Having worked closely with Mayweather in the past, he says he personally witnessed the kind of lavish spending that ultimately led to serious money problems.
And from day one, what it is that, and they know, everybody laughed at me. They laughed at me. They said, oh, he just talking nonsense. I've been told, all of you guys.
Leonard Ellerbe explains that when Floyd Mayweather Jr. reaches a high level of fame and success, criticism is inevitable. According to him, the true challenge isn't the success itself, but how Mayweather chooses to respond to the pressure and public scrutiny that comes with it.
Today, when you're on top, when you're at the top, you can expect criticism. It just comes with success, and it's all about how you handle things. And me personally, none of it's personal.
Leonard Ellerbe says that Floyd Mayweather Jr. had the potential to build a strong and lasting business career, but only if he had approached his ventures with greater seriousness and made more thoughtful, strategic decisions.
Formed his own company,
Right.
but he was the first one that had a team surrounded by him. That our focus was the business, and his focus was the boxing. And in turn, we built the brand, built Mayweather Promotions.
Yeah.
And Floyd became his own boss.
Wow.
Logan Paul mocked Floyd Mayweather Jr., claiming he is still waiting to receive the $1.5 million he says remains unpaid from their exhibition fight.
Because he's still waiting on the 1.5 from Floyd Mayweather. He made this video simultaneously with the beef with Le'Veon, and I don't know, maybe it's coincidence, maybe it isn't.
Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao 2. The fight nobody asked for except me. I need this. Because if Floyd wins, he can finally pay me my $1.5 million. I don't care about the legacy fight. I don't care that these men have a combined age of 100 years. I care that Floyd Mayweather, the best boxer alive, uses those same hands that made him 100 million to Venmo me my money. And Floyd, if you're watching this, win it and pay me back, or I'm gonna send my goons after you. Gotcha. Hey.
I really don't know why I watched that. Yeah, listen, dude. Logan is, again, functionally a coward for not doing this. I was really excited for it, too. I couldn't wait. That was gotta be content, stud. But, I mean, okay, yes, I understand if he is under WWE contract. They're not.
Teddy Atlas observes that many who once supported Floyd Mayweather Jr. are now turning on him, mocking and laughing as he faces what they see as his biggest downfall.
So like you said, he was Mayweather, Money Mayweather, and now he's suing because he went through his money, he blew his money, whatever. Look, I don't know what the truth is fully in there. I know Steven Espinoza was named. He ran Showtime at the time. He was named him. I never was a fan of Espinoza. Again, I'm not afraid to say and not mince my words when I feel a certain way. And I've taken arrows for it, and of course I've also taken some praise for it. That people say, hey, Teddy's going to say what he feels. I was never a fan of him. I never thought he was a man that kept his word. I never thought he really did a great job. over Showtime. I mean, they put some good fights on because the fights were available, because the landscape.
Whack 100 says that Floyd Mayweather Jr. isn't broke, arguing that he remains wealthy in peace of mind and is unfazed by gossip or outside opinions about his life and career.
Floyd is rich at right now. What's that? His peace of mind. When I send him things, like I send you things when it's pertaining to you, when he gets the time, he'll call me and he say, "Hey, Wack, what's that?" And I tell him, he said, that's nonsense. He said, well, as long as they trying to figure me out, they not gonna be able to figure out what they need to do. And he continues to move. I will say this without saying too much, that I've seen him pass on some big deals based upon business he already has on the table. But again, I've been to his home. I talk to him regular. He's my business partner.
Paulie Malignaggi says that if Floyd Mayweather Jr. had kept his finances private, fewer people would question his wealth. However, by frequently showcasing his money in public, he invited greater scrutiny and speculation.
See how much Floyd was making, right? And Floyd himself was flaunting himself like he was the guy who was making that kind of money. And for all intents and purposes, I assume he was. Everybody assumed he was, and it seemed like he thought he was, because he wasn't complaining, he was showing off, you know? This is why, as I get older, I feel like, and everybody always tells you this when you're young, like, keep your finances private, you know, and this is why I think this is a big reason why. First and foremost, you notice that if you don't keep your finances private, everybody and their mothers ask you for money constantly. And they don't ask you
that happens either way.
And they don't ask you, well, people assume you have money, but if you flaunt it, you definitely, they confirm you have money. And they don't ask you for money like you need to buy the Rolex or the Lamborghini. They'll guilt you into it. They need their mother's dying in the hospital. They need to pay for a funeral. Their kid is sick. Like, they guilt you into it, and you almost feel bad.
A boxing analyst breaks down the surprising financial downturn of Floyd Mayweather Jr., once known for proudly flaunting his immense wealth. Over the years, Mayweather worked closely with key figures like Steven Espinoza and Showtime, but he is now suing them for $340 million, alleging undisclosed, unpaid earnings. While his longtime advisor Al Heyman is not directly involved in the lawsuit, the legal challenges surrounding Mayweather continue to grow. The analyst suggests that his extravagant lifestyle, marked by extensive collections of luxury cars, high-end jewelry, and even a private jet, may have played a significant role in his current financial troubles.
We are going to go through in this video. Now, I've been covering boxing for double-digit years. Allow me to take you through it. A simple Google search shows Floyd Mayweather. You type in his name, you're going to see some fight photos and whatnot. But the top stories, and there's multiple stories, and we're going to take a look at some of them. But as mentioned, Business Insider is now reporting what you see on the screen, that Floyd Mayweather is being accused in lawsuits of owing millions of dollars for luxury watches, gold, and rent on palatial apartment, right? The bullet points. Floyd was sued for allegedly failing to pay rent on a luxurious duplex in
luxury apartments, high rent, and unpaid bills began to pile up, eventually leading to multiple lawsuits involving Floyd Mayweather Jr. One Miami couple, who owned a condo he rented, reported that Mayweather fell behind by nearly $500,000 in rent. Although he made payments initially, he later stopped responding to efforts to recover the debt. Analysts say this reflects a broader pattern of excessive spending, poor financial management, and heavy reliance on others for handling money decisions. Over time, these habits appear to have caught up with him. The situation serves as a reminder that fame and fortune don't guarantee long-term financial security. Even elite athletes can face serious financial trouble if their wealth isn't managed carefully.
Represents the $500,000 in arrears plus late fees minus a deposit that Mayweather paid at the start of the lease and the $100,000 catch-up payment. So they deducted what he did submit when he was made aware of this, the $100K, and I guess a deposit. So the remaining balance is that. An attorney for Mayweather did not provide a comment by deadline. He has not responded to the lawsuit in court In a separate legal matter, so we've already went over one with this luxury condo in Manhattan, right? But a separate legal matter, a Miami jeweler sued Floyd Mayweather last month, alleging the boxer owes more than $1 million for jewelry that he took but never paid for.
Paulie Malignaggi and Chris Algieri break down how Floyd Mayweather Jr., despite earning massive sums throughout his career, could still find himself facing financial difficulties. Malignaggi notes that it's difficult to imagine someone at Mayweather's level allowing large amounts of money to go unaccounted for. He compares everyday luxury spending, like purchasing a Ferrari or expensive jewelry, to the scale of Mayweather's earnings, emphasizing that while smaller expenses can be managed, the financial figures he dealt with were on an entirely different level. Algieri adds that during the peak of Mayweather's career, even missing the accounting of a single fight's earnings could result in substantial losses. Over time, these small oversights from multiple fights can accumulate, with financial mistakes compounding and leading to significant consequences.
I don't know, like there's guys who have a lot of money, okay? For me, I could go into a jewelry store, spend 20,000 at the time, like nothing. Like, you know what, I didn't plan on going there. I bought a Ferrari. I went to with my friend to go check out a Ferrari he was gonna buy. I went there and I'm like, I got this in my account, I could buy this right now. You know, like that, you know? And I'm not saying that's smart, what I'm saying is,
your accountant must have loved you.
yeah, really. But what I'm saying is, I got good money for that when I sold it.
I'm just
The used car market came back at the time. But anyway, what I'm saying is, it could go like that, okay? That kind of money. But bro, $340 million? That's not Ferrari, bro. That's a lot of Ferraris, a lot of houses.
But Floyd had a lot of Ferraris, and that's the thing about Floyd. Like, yes, is that way too much money? Yes, that's.
Paulie Malignaggi compares Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s situation to historical cases, pointing to fighters like Mike Tyson who faced major financial setbacks due to poor management and exploitation. Both analysts stress that Mayweather's financial issues didn't suddenly appear years after earning huge sums. Instead, they suggest the problems likely developed over time, with the possibility that someone recently brought the issues to his attention or is now reviewing his finances more closely. The discussion underscores a broader point. Fame and wealth alone do not guarantee financial security, even for the highest-earning athletes in the sport.
I have an entire fight prison, more than one fight, multiple fight
at the height of your career.
$340 million. There's nights where you didn't make that much money in a night.
But we heard about stuff like this with Mike Tyson back in the day. Yeah. Big money losses, people taking advantage of him, a number of different things. Now, all that being said and done, 10 years is the point. That is the major point of all of this. Because when you look about this now, 10 years, where does this come from? It makes me think that someone's gotten in his ear. And maybe, where does this come from out of nowhere? Is he going through the books now, 10 years later? No, of course not. Someone else is. Someone else is probably telling him, hey man, you know, this is like this, this is like that. So you think
it did happen?
I don't know. I think regardless of whether it happened or it didn't,
that's what I'm wondering.
Unless it's coming out of nowhere, unless he literally is just getting
he's losing his mind because there's a lot of rumors about him losing money, right?
Losing money, being I don't want to say destitute, but you know.
Dan Raphael says it isn't surprising that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has faced financial challenges after his boxing career. He notes that anyone who closely followed Mayweather's career could have anticipated this outcome. Given how openly he spent and displayed his wealth, Mayweather's lifestyle was highly extravagant and very public, featuring private jets, luxury cars, expensive travel, and constant displays of wealth. Raphael points out that Mayweather lived on a scale few people could imagine, and much of it was shared with the world through social media, interviews, and videos.
The fact that Floyd would encounter some financial issues post his boxing career is not in any way a surprise to me. When you see the types of things that, if you believe anything that he puts on his social media, the travel that he does, the places he goes, and the amount of entourage he has, I mean, that's like a money pit. I mean, whether you're flying on private jets or you're staying at first-class hotels, or you're, buying expensive jewelry and cars and bags and you name it. I mean, it's all good when you're making those gigantic paydays and they're coming in, a couple times a year. You're making 40 million here and 25 million there, or even more, 100 million plus, when he fought the big mega fights with guys like Conor McGregor and Manny Pacquiao. But when that stops, that money doesn't.
Dan Raphael emphasizes that this type of spending pattern can make financial trouble almost inevitable. Even for someone as successful as Floyd Mayweather Jr., unchecked expenses and a focus on lavish living can gradually erode massive earnings over time. Observers have noted Mayweather traveling in style, purchasing luxury items, and maintaining a lifestyle that comes with consistently high costs. In Raphael's view, this serves as an important lesson for athletes and celebrities alike. No matter how much money someone earns, living beyond sustainable means can eventually lead to serious financial consequences. The combination of visible extravagance, high expenses, and long-term financial mismanagement helps explain why Mayweather now faces monetary challenges despite a career filled with record-breaking paydays.
Allegations about the $340 million, it just didn't ring true to me, because Al Heyman, who is not named in the suit, but apparently is supposedly part of this problem, whatever. But I mean, I've known Al Heyman and covered Al Heyman's fighters and his business since the day he stepped in boxing in like 2002 with Vernon Forrest. And all that time, and literally in terms of the PBC, you know, a couple hundred fighters that he's dealt with, maybe not personally, but that his team is and his company. To a fighter, you never hear anybody, even when they're retired and they're not with Al anymore, nobody talks bad about him. In fact, if you ask most fighters, they'll tell you how good to them that he has been, that type of money that they've helped him make, and the person that he's.
Analyst Fannin breaks down the recent legal actions involving Floyd Mayweather Jr., explaining that after facing financial challenges, Mayweather has chosen to sue several of his former business partners. According to Fannin, despite earning more than $1 billion over his undefeated career, Mayweather claims that a significant portion of that money never reaches personal accounts. The lawsuit specifically targets Showtime and former network president Steven Espinoza, alleging their involvement in financial dealings tied to his longtime advisor Al Heyman. Fannin highlights that although Heyman is not listed as a defendant, Mayweather asserts that Showtime and Espinoza played a key role in how his funds were managed.
According to TMZ, let's get to the TMZ. Floyd Mayweather sues Showtime, saying, "I'm missing hundreds of millions of dollars." Floyd Mayweather Jr. says he made over $1 billion in earnings over his legendary career, but the 50-0 fighter claims all the money didn't make it to his bank account. He is now suing Showtime, claiming they played a big role in his ex-manager screwing him out of hundreds of millions of dollars. In the lawsuit filed by Floyd in California and obtained by TMZ Sports, Mayweather says he's gunning to recover hundreds of millions of dollars in the misappropriated funds and damages resulting from long-running and elaborate.
The suit claims that earnings from major fights, including bouts against Manny Pacquiao and Conor McGregor, were directed into accounts controlled by Al Heyman rather than being fully transferred to Floyd Mayweather Jr. When Mayweather and his team later requested access to Showtime's financial records, they reportedly found the documents either missing or unavailable, which further intensified concerns about possible financial mismanagement. Fannin notes that this situation highlights the difficulties even elite athletes can face when handling large sums of money. Issues like lack of oversight, mismanagement, and heavy reliance on others can result in significant financial losses. Mayweather's legal action is presented as an effort to recover earnings he believes were improperly handled, underscoring the complex financial relationships between fighters, managers, and media networks in professional boxing.
Parties to see whether or not this is something that Floyd should have known about, or did know about, or maybe did not understand. Because it seems very, very funny that Floyd would not know that the money was getting paid to Al Heyman and not directly to him. Regardless, I don't know the outcome of that. I will talk about this though. The absolute blatant karma up in Floyd Mayweather's face for all the smack he talked about Muhammad Ali and how Muhammad Ali's name was only worth $50 million and he sold half of his name for $50 million and how he's made so much more money and that makes him all of that. Talked about how Muhammad Ali, I'm sure, or I don't know if he did, but I'd heard, talked about Floyd. Yeah, he did, because he talked about his money. And how he
Whack 100 explains that Floyd Mayweather Jr. remains calm and unaffected by outside opinions or social media, which he doesn't personally monitor. According to Whack 100, much of Mayweather's wealth is structured through various business ventures, including trusts, corporations, and investment groups, making his ownership less visible to the public. This structure, he says, helps maintain financial security even if it isn't obvious from the outside. That he adds that despite common misconceptions, Mayweather is content with his life and confident in his financial position. Whack 100 also emphasizes that for Mayweather, true wealth extends beyond money, highlighting his focus on family, including spending quality time with his grandson as a source of fulfillment.
What's going on out there is phasing him but get to him. He doesn't even control his social media. He doesn't see it. I'm telling you, he doesn't see it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's posting himself. He has someone that
he doesn't see it. He doesn't pay any attention. When I need something done, I have to send it through different channels for it to get done. But no, he's definitely not. I mean, we know that. He has tons of businesses going on. They were making accusations that he didn't own the things he owned. You're not gonna find nothing in Floyd's name directly. You're not gonna find, when you're dealing with that type of money and those type of situations, you know this, Vlad, it's set up. It could be a foundation, a trust.
Yeah, shell companies, corporations, LLCs, whatever.
I know some of these people that...
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more.